This is how we're going to put together the servo holder for the Arduo panel. Got the mount, the arm, the pad with two 4 by 10 millimeter magnets, all the hardware that came with the servo, and an M310. First step is I drilled out these holes to make them 3 millimeter, but don't go to this one here, because if you go that one, they won't have anything to screw into. So just this hole here gets screwed out, or this hole here gets drilled out, and this gets drilled out. So your 3 millimeter screw, here's one that's not drilled, here's one that is drilled. And I did that so you could use different sizes of hardware, because this is going to act as an axle. So I've got a 2 millimeter drill bit that I'm going to use to drill out the last hole on the servo arm. Like so. Then what we're going to do is take a servo tester and set this thing to 90 degrees. On mine, that's the second detent here. So now the servo is set to 90 degrees. I'm going to mount the servo like so. So we want this to come up straight up in this orientation. So just set that on there and then screw it down with the screw that came with it. And that's not the screw that came with it. And then this gets mounted like so, using one of the mounting screws in the back. Next thing we want to do is glue these magnets in this pad, and you'll notice this here has an angle that matches this angle here, so you know you're putting it on correctly. I'm using super glue gel, and notice it says shake well. That's important, because if you don't, you'll find that your gel won't be jelly very well. So just give that a nice slather. You want to make sure this gets mounted square. And when you're happy with it, we'll hit it with some zip kicker. And that way it won't run away from us. Now our magnets, I'll get some on this side too. Wipe off the excess. Then this gets mounted into the chassis with the 10mm M3. You could use a pan head if you have one available. I don't have one, so I'm just going to use this flat head. And the plastic here acts as a lock nut to keep this thing from coming undone. You don't want to over tighten it. It should move freely. Then we take the other mounting screw and put it into the servo horn and screw that into the servo arm. There shouldn't be any binding here. That looks good. Next thing to do is pop it into the dome, and we will mount the other two magnets onto the panel. And then we'll be ready to go.